Hi there, gamers, enthusiasts, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. There was a video uh, uh, uploaded like a few years ago that got people confused. So I decided to make another video on the topic. Uh, Let me give you a little bit of context. My back then, my RX 580 was crashing in games, and the reason was that it had a different BIOS than the stock one, probably because the GPU was previously being used in mining. So you get the point. They put on different BIOS to get the most of mining. That was one particular case, and people were saying that it was a fake information. That was not a fake information. That is a real scenario, bro. So let's talk about the GPU problems nowadays. Uh, Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to dive into the topic that is close to every gamer's heart. That's a GPU problem. Uh, Most of us, apart from some lucky ones, but I would say the 90% or 80% of us face problems uh, because these are GPUs. They are not immune to problems. In this video, we'll discuss some common issues that occur with GPU and provide an overview of their solutions. So let's get started. One of the most common problem gamers face is overheating. As I've mentioned earlier in this video, that I pointed out one particular problem that was concerning my particular setup, that there was a different BIOS, but we'll go through every possible problem and their possible solutions. I'm not a tech expert, so I've done quite a lot of troubleshooting. Been doing so for like 12 to 15 years from now. So I have a rough idea of how to rectify some problems. So the most common problem is overheating. Number one, overheating. Overheating is a pain. Could be due to uh, bad ventilation in the case, or could be due to thermal paste and thermal pads. There could be different reasons. uh, and when the GPU is overheating, sometimes the GPU underperforms. It does not perform as expected, and sometimes uh, in some cases they even crash. So I would recommend you to download a software called Tech GPU. uh, I'll provide a link. You can download it from this website. Yes, there it is, Tech GPU. Go and download the software. It's a very good software. I have already downloaded it. It will show you your graphic cards stats. So in my previous video about troubleshooting that RX 580, I had an issue with the BIOS. The memory clocks and boost clocks were not here due to the BIOS tampering, I would say. It would work good in mining at that time, but was not going to work in games. So I downloaded a stock BIOS from this same page. Shout out to these guys for such an amazing work. And voila, my GPU was working fine. So I would say download this software. And for temperatures, for problem number one, have a look at the sensors tab. You will see a GPU temperature and hotspot temperature. Normally when we play games, our temperature is around, that differs from card to card basis. If you have a good cooling like mine, my GPU temperature goes to around 59, 60, maybe 61, 62, 65, and that's the top I go. Your could be different. Maybe your temperature could be around 70, 75. So the temperature is what could cause thermal throttling. So I would like to have a look at these two parameters. There's a couple of degrees difference between the hotspot temperature and the hotspot temperature is I would say the main chip. The hottest spot is the main chip. If this thingy is exceeding above 90, your GPU is going to thermal throttle, and you will see a reduced performance. Roughly around 90, could be more in some cases, but I would say it should start thermal throttling at around 90. So in such scenario, I would say increase the airflow, get a good cooler, or repaste your GPU, and it should probably solve your problems in games and crashes, most likely. The next problem is related to power. We have power related issues. GPUs demand a substantial amount of power, and if your power supply unit isn't up to the task, it could cause instability and system shutdowns. Make sure to check your power requirements of your GPU and invest a high quality PSU that can handle the load. Upgrading your PSU is often a simple yet effective solution. So what I would recommend you is, before buying a GPU, or if you have already a GPU and you are having some powers, go and have a look at your particular GPU. For example, I'll have a look at this beast. So go and have a look at the TDP, if it's here somewhere. So this card, the RTX 4090, has a TDP of 450, and the recommended power supply is 850 watts. So I would recommend for at least using an 850 watts, because this 450 watts, the GPU can go higher in some circumstances. Some cases the GPU uses more powerful a few watts, and the other components like your CPU, your RAM, your hard drive, your SSDs, your fans, everything is consuming power. So that's why 815 is a sweet spot for this particular card. If you are using like a low end card like myself, a 2080 Ti, which is a decent card. I'm not using 2080 Ti, sorry, but you get my point. Every card has a different TDP, and they have recommended a power supply to match the power requirements of the particular card. In so many cases, just getting a good power supply will help you a lot. Then we have a third problem, corrupted display on monitor. Graphic glitches and artifacts are another common problem. If you notice strange lines, pixelation, and distorted image on your screen, it could indicate that there's an issue with your GPU. You should start by updating your graphics drivers to the latest version. If the problem persists, then try resetting the GPU. So in the same page, you'll see if you have NVIDIA GPU, AMD, or Intel, you will have the links for the latest drivers. Download the latest drivers and see if that works. If that doesn't work, unplug the cables, turn off the power, take out the power connector, press the power button for a couple of seconds to drain all the possible power, and then take out the GPU and reset the GPU. Try cleaning the pins of the GPU, the PCIe pins, with some eraser. That's a good thingy, because there could be some carbon deposits on that, invisible to eye. So try resetting it properly to the motherboard, and if that is not working, so I, I'm so sorry. You should take this to a repair, or maybe if you have a warranty, you need to claim the warranty. Uh, there could be dust accumulation in the CPU that can also affect performance. So I would recommend uh, have a compressed air and blow through the GPU, and let's see how that goes. Dust accumulation is a sneaky culprit that can impact GPU performance. Over time, dust can clog the GPU's cooling system and lead to increased temperatures as well. Regularly cleaning your PC, paying close attention to the GPU, uh, and using compressed air to blow the dust from the fans. That's pretty much what we can do uh, in case of dust. And lastly, if the GPU is physically damaged, whether it is due to mishandling or accidental drops or improper installation, physical damage can render your GPU unusable. So in this particular case, I would say prevention is the key, bro. And if anything has happened to your GPU in terms of physical damage, then there's no other option to get it checked, uh, other than to get it checked from a expert. And if you found this video helpful, then I would say give a thumbs up, and if it's not helpful, then let me know. I will try to be a little more helpful. So the point of all this video was to give you a rough idea about the problems and their possible solutions. Please like the video if you liked it, and dislike if you disliked it. It will help me to create a better video next time. Sorry about my English. I'm not that's not good English, I say, as my native language is Urdu, and I'm not talking in Urdu. So see you guys in the next video. GG's.